Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Language Lab podcast thing. My name is Siad, and this is my time to spend with you talking about experiments happening in my language learning life. And today I wanted to talk about flashcards, which I feel as though in the language learning space have quite a contentious opinion, or they can be a little bit polarizing in a way, or however you want to say it. But there are many different camps of people who have beliefs, strong held beliefs about flashcard systems, whether they be digital or physical, or how the spaced repetition of them should work, and if you should make your own cards versus if you should buy cards versus if you should use another system. There's just so many things to unpack with flashcards. And I have been on and off, mostly off, let's be honest, on and off the flashcard system for the last 3 to 4 years, which is how long I've been really taking language learning seriously, or doing it, somewhat consistently. And so I just wanted to talk about it because I want to know what you all think about flashcards, but I also want to, again, as this is about experimenting, and this is a lab, I think I do want to experiment with physical flashcards or physical index cards and making my own, writing them, and or just exploring that in a way that would work for me. I think that the part of SRS or Anki or any of the kind of digital systems that doesn't work for me is that if you don't do them every day, there's a backlog. And I am not going to be a person who does them every single day. This afternoon, yesterday, recently, I just have kind of come to that conclusion. No matter how much I want to be the kind of person who will do them every single day, that's just not me. And I need to accept that, and you need to accept that too. So this isn't to say that I don't do language learning consistently, because I do. This is just saying that doing an Anki or an SRS, spatial repetition software or system that is digital, is probably not going to be something that I do every day. And so I want to have a way to review words in a targeted, words or phrases in a targeted way. And so I think that I am going to experiment over the next couple of months. And this will be something that I check in about regularly, but I want to experiment with physical flashcards or physical index cards. And I think in a kind of separate episode, I'll talk about what I put on them and how I put on them and the different kinds of paper I use and the markers, because that stuff is also really interesting to me as well. But yeah, I guess I wanted to kick off this experiment amongst the many experiments that I have going on. If you need a reminder, I think the experiment that I'm really focusing on right now is consistency and doing something every day. I've missed a couple days recently, but I have been doing something in a language every day. And so my next experiment on top of that is going to be using physical index cards for spaced repetition or recall or learning. So that's it. I'm going to try that. I think in another video, I will talk about what exactly they look like, and maybe I'll put some examples on the screen or in the show notes and things like that. But yeah, this is just an experiment that I was thinking about, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while in earnest, and now I sort of feel like I have an extra 5 minutes in my life to be able to start the experiment. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another installment of this video podcast thing where I talk about experiments in my language learning life. See you next time.